Ask yourself, what are the odds of finding a 40-year-old that's 4 decades original Honda motocrosser that's 100% bone stock? I'll tell you, slim to nothing unless you buy this one. I just rode this down the sidewalk because I didn't have the heart to take it into the dirt because it's too clean. And this thing is crisp. They absolutely haul ass. My brother had one of these brand new, and back then it was the fastest 79 you could buy. Today, it's still the fastest 79 you can buy. If you want to win an AHMRA championship, buy this bike. If you want a bike to ride, vintage bike that's not going to ever give you problems, buy this. If you want a great investment, you can't go wrong. 100% bone stock, original Honda. So let me fire it up. 37 horsepower, 218 pounds. Do the math. That's why they call it the Red Rocket. What's that say? First kick, baby. That's what I'm talking about. If this doesn't make you smile, you might be dead. We normally do a test ride through the dirt on these, but not on this one, that's for sure. It's too nice. Guys, what's up? Stay tuned. Stick with me for this whole video because I've got some kick-ass, the finest Elsinores on the planet to show you, starting with this 79 Elsinore 250, and I got 4 more to follow up. I can tell you it's going to be worth the wait. Let's start on this one. This bike right here just came out of the J. Wood collection. You may have seen the Motocross Fox Elsinore 250. That was the same year. Totally tricked out. This is his bone stock, 100% original, right down to the tires, Elsinore 250. This is the finest original Elsinore I've seen since 1979. Unless you find one in the box, you're not going to find one closer to stock. I'm an AMCA judge. I'm an AMCA Antique Motorcycle Club of America ambassador. This is an ambassador site here on the 2nd floor of the New England Motorcycle Museum. And obviously I'm a little bit excited about this bike. 1, because it's super rare, and 2, I get to ride it. I get the coolest job in the world. This is the last year of the aluminum tank Elsinore, which to me is speaks volume of the vintage beauty of this bike. This is an aluminum tank, so it's not plastic like the 80s, and they just look stunning with the original paint job on here. This bike right here, I would give this a 97 point out of 100 for originality. I'm going to deduct 3 points. 1 for this bolt right here, 1 for the bolt on the other side. I don't believe that's original Honda bolt. And on this side, 1 bolt on the seat mount. That's it. There's only 3 bolts on the bike. I'll take off 1 point for each. You can buy those through Honda. You can get those online, and for about $8, make this thing a 100% original bike. Also, the one of the hoses on the obviously they've been replaced because they're 40 years old, but the hoses are not original. Other than that, right down to the tires. These tires are made on the 43rd week of 1978, the date code on both the front and rear. They're the matching original first year of this style tire Elsinore. This bike was a huge revolution in the motorcycle industry for motocross. If you look at this, the 1976 Elsinore 250, they skipped the year in 77 because in 77, they introduced the RC 500, which looks exactly like this bike, except for it's got a 400cc cylinder. This bike was a replica available to the public, a factory race replica, loaded with lightweight, super lightweight aluminum, had magnesium brake backings, aluminum brake lever, aluminum everywhere, the Kickstarter, the shifter. This bike weighs 218 pounds out of the box and has 37 rear wheel horsepower. These bikes are awesome, even by today's standards. If you're racing woods racing, these are awesome in the woods. For vintage motocross, this bike right out of the box can win a vintage national. Just tune in the suspension, maybe put a set of box shocks on it, but this thing's ready to rumble. So Not much more to say about it, other than take a close look at it. The grips, the bars, the actual, one of the brake levers was replaced. That's not an original brake lever, and I'm not sure about the grips. So maybe it's a 95 point bike. But what really got me about this bike was the original factory paint, the factory plastics, the factory seat cover, the rear fender. Take a look at the exhaust here. This is the nicest factory ELSINORE exhaust I've seen since 1979. I don't see a single ding anywhere in this exhaust. Usually they get all dented and dinged up. The exhaust is pristine, as is the baffle. And the one thing I always check, if you follow our videos, I always look at the frame rails. Look at the frame rails on this thing. I'm looking for a frame for an 88 ELSINORE CR250, and I can't find one that's not dented. Everyone I look at is dented. I'm building a bike that has a dented frame, and I'm trying to build a works racer for myself, and with Olean suspension and everything, and I can't find a frame. Good luck finding a nicer original ELSINORE than this. Unless you find one in the crate or one that's never ridden, you won't find a better one. What's the bike worth? Well, we'll let the market determine that, but I can tell you we sold a used 1980 that had a lot of hours on it and had been redone. I had the plastic tank that just sold for $5,000 on our eBay store. So this one is about as good as it's going to get. So look at the pegs on it. The pegs aren't bent. The shifter's not bent. It even has the kickstand in it, which is like the first thing people remove when they take a bike out of the box and race it. This thing's never been raced. It's hardly been ridden. Unfortunately, it did get a dent in the tank right here, and the previous owner had tried the dentless paint removal by putting the glue on there to pop it out. It didn't work. It needs to be done by a professional body shop, but there is a little ding in the tank right there. There's been no touch-up paint anywhere on this bike, not on the engine cases. You can see the little patina right there from the boot rubbing, a couple scratches on the swing arm. The paint on the shock has worn off mostly, and other than that, I mean, take a look. Look around on this side here, you can see the paint had worn off a little bit on the frame. Usually people put, touch-up paint on there or cover that up.
We made a point not to?
We made a point not to touch up anything on this bike. There's no Armor All on this. There's no SC100. It's 100% exactly the way it came out of the box. It has original DID rims, has original tires, as I said. The rubbers on the forks are in mint shape. The bars are the original bars. They're not bent. Plastics are in great condition, still have a shine on them. We didn't do any plastic renew or no heating up with the heat gun or any of the tricks of the trade to make it pretty. This is just 100% original bone stock, matching numbers, beauty. So let me show you the motocross box bike now. You got to check this one out. Come on, let's take a walk. Just got done showing you the 79 in 100% bone stock, original condition. This is a 1980, completely tricked out with a full factory box race replica set up with a box factory forks, aluminum swing arm, shocks. The motor's been built.
Or I'm sorry, this is a 79 model.
Oh, 79, I'm sorry, it's a twin to the other one. I thought this one was an 80. So
I'll cut that out.
You can see how far these can be taken as far as the amount of trickery that was available, custom performance items. So this bike is about as high performance as you can get this side of a factory race bike, which is what this is. So,
and this was built off a base like that, a low hour.
Built off the exact same platform as that one, an extremely low hour stock bike that was turned into this. So let me show you the Doug Henry and the I have over here I've got the Ricky Carmichael replica. I've got actually. Hey guys, how you doing? Good. This is Doug Henry's. You may remember Doug was the national champion back in the 90s, Supercross and motocross. This is a title to it. This is Doug Henry's actual 1996 from Honda Motorcorp. They gave him this bike to use as a practice bike, and they did Doug did all of the hot setups of the motor and suspension I did on the factory bike. So this is a 96. And then we've got this Jeremy McGrath replica over here that just came in from Joe Kasmer, our local collector. And this is the aluminum frame model over here. This is the last iteration of the two-stroke. They stopped making these in 2007. Aluminum frame CR250 liquid cool bike.
And these are all plastic tanks, and we're producing much bigger numbers.
Yep, yeah, much bigger numbers. So we also have the forefather of all these, which is the aluminum tank ELSINORE 250, which is down here. So come on down, I'll show you that one.
All right, go ahead.
This is the 1974 Elsinore CR250R. This is the one that started it all. This is the original air-cooled racer that changed the look of motocross today. So you have this style frame, went right to the 78, 79 version. Yep. Then you had the later single shock.
So in 5 years, Honda made ridiculous strides.
Oh, in 5
Let's
years,
go check out our bike.
That was the golden years of motocross, where things were progressing at such a rapid pace. They would just every year come out with new stuff. So here's Jeremy McGrath right here, and this is the Racer X 1986. Here's a South Hook National from 1988. All Hondas in the first row of top three. And check this out. This is Johnny Letty's CR. It's the fastest Honda 550 on the planet. This thing was dynoed at just under 100 horsepower. It's my buddy Johnny Letty from the UK, the CR550 Liger. That thing's insane. This is actually Doug Henry right here on his 96. The bike that was upstairs, that's Doug Henry signed. And we got Jean Michelle Bill and Jojo Keller.
How about our 79?
So back to our 79 here. A little history of Honda. Had to share that with you. This is a motorcycle museum, so would love to keep this bike here. This is absolutely the finest original Elsinore we've had through the museum here. We've had some beautifully restored ones, but you never know what they've been through. You know, this one is obviously pristine. So
yeah, and
you want me to take it for a little ride and a little listen to it?
Yeah, we'll splice that in the beginning. But with the restored bikes, you never know, you know, what exactly went into them and what parts are reproduction, cheap reproductions, and which are NOS Honda, the real deal. So to find an unrestored bike has become a rarity with any of these vintage motocross bikes. So if you're interested in the bike and you need a shipping quote, message us your zip code. We can get the bike shipped very affordably, or call us at 860-454-7024 with any questions on the bike.
Good luck bidding on it, and this is definitely Kaplan America approved. I would be proud to sell this to a family member or keep it here in the museum. This is the real deal. No excuses.
Yep.
Very low hour original. So
shooting.
Buy with confidence. Good luck bidding. God bless America.